Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So there are so many different fragrance houses out there. Some I get along with and some I don't really get along with. And that is what today's video is about. You know, I've seen a few videos kind of recently about, fragrance houses that somebody hates. I don't want to use the word hate because I truly don't hate any fragrance house. It's just that there are some that I gravitate towards more than others. And there are some that really just don't work for me, for whatever reason, their fragrances don't work for me. So that's what today's video is about. I'm going to share with you some designer and niche houses that I don't get along with. And let's start with designer houses. Number one, and by the way, I'm just saying number one, these are in no particular order at all, but number one on the list is the house of Chanel. And this is quite a change of heart for me. I used to be obsessed with Chanel. This probably used to be my favorite house, Chanel Chance fragrances. I have no idea how many bottles I went through. I use that all the time. These were my signature scents for a long, long time. I have Coco Mademoiselle. I also still have Chanel Gabrielle, although I'm trying to declutter that one. And I've just fallen out of love with that house. Once I started exploring all the other houses, exploring so many new fragrances, Chanel was kind of left behind. I don't know, I just grew tired of their fragrances, maybe. I tried exploring the exclusive collection, like their private collection, and I don't really get along with that one either. I didn't find any scents that were really like, wow, I need to have that. Like, I really need to add it to my collection. No. So for some reason, Chanel is just not for me at the moment. But as you can see, these are houses that I don't get along with at the moment. Things can change, just like they did with Chanel. I used to absolutely love this house, and now I don't. Next one is Marc Jacobs. Now, here it's very simple. I just find it boring. I just find their fragrances boring and slightly juvenile, honestly. Like the million of never-ending daisy flankers, like, don't ask me, I don't know. There's so many, I can't keep track. They all smell somewhat similar. I'm just bored. I'm not interested. I hate the way the bottles look. Yeah, for that reason, it's not for me. I have one fragrance from Marc Jacobs, that's Rain, from their some kind of long discontinued collection. I really like that when it comes in a simple, beautiful bottle, very, very clean looking, and the scent is really nice too. But everything else that I have tried from them, no, I find it boring, not interesting, like not for me. And I haven't tried anything from them in a long time, to be honest. I'm just not interested, simply not interested. Next one, and I've talked about that one before, Narciso Rodriguez. Yeah, I think what I'm figuring out is I cannot do like musk heavy scents that are like centered on musk. I can't. It just doesn't play well on my skin. In most cases, it comes out like old bar of soap. They become extremely soapy, and I cannot do soapy. And as many Narciso Rodriguez fragrances as I have tried, like they all pretty much end up smelling the same on my skin. So I've stopped trying. It's just not for me. I know there's so many fans of this house, so many. It's just for me, for my body chemistry, for my nose, it doesn't work. Another designer house that I don't get along with is Gucci. I don't have a single fragrance from this house. I have tried their private collection. I was extremely underwhelmed. Extremely underwhelmed. Either scents were just, I didn't like the way they smelled. They all were quite simple. They were quite light. They were not interesting at all. And their regular line, yeah, I'm just not interested. I find their scents boring. They have a lot of like tuberose, heavy, floral, heavy scents. They're not for me. I just can't find anything in this house that works for me, that attracts my attention, like nothing at all. So I don't have a single fragrance from this house at all. And the last designer house that I'm going to talk about is Versace. You know, I actually used to have quite a few Versace fragrances. When I was younger, I really enjoyed their Bright Crystal. This was my kind of scent. I like the intense version of that. The Yellow Diamond was really nice. The one in the dark purple bottle, what is it called? Crystal Noir. I like that one. I mean, when I was really young, I used to wear red jeans, if anyone remembers that. So I have had and worn a lot of their scents, and they have very nice sort of mass appealing types of fragrances. Like if you're trying to buy a gift for someone, you know, who doesn't, who's not really into perfumes, you know, especially for like someone younger, I think Versace is a great house to go with because, again, very mass appealing, sort of easygoing types of fragrances. What happened was just I grew up. I grew up, and those scents sort of stayed behind, you know. They were just too, I don't know, too young, too simple for me at this point. I was just bored with them. Honestly, I was bored with them. The only one that I still have is Versance, which I've talked about. It's one of my top citrus scents. Absolutely love it. Love it. That's the only one I have, but all the other ones I don't. Actually, my daughter, who has her own little collection, has a number of minis, Versace minis, that she really enjoys. So I just think it's their scents appeal to a younger generation, and I just kind of grown out of love with them. They just became a little bit too young for me. By the way, if you are a fan of any of these fragrance houses, please don't get upset. This is my subjective opinion. You know, we all have different tastes. So I'm just sharing with you houses that don't work for me. But if they work for you, that is absolutely wonderful. Now, that's it for designer houses. Now let's move on to niche houses. So the first one that I have on my list is the one that I really tried to fall in love with. I've tested fragrances from this house many times. Whenever I go to a local department store that carries this line, I always go to their stand and try their fragrances over and over again, hoping that I will fall in love with them, and I just don't. I'm talking about Frederic Malle. Yeah, I don't connect to their scents. I recognize the quality, I recognize the complexity, I respect their fragrances, but I don't want to wear their fragrances. We just don't get along. The only one that I truly like is Masque Ravageur. I had a bottle at some point, I decluttered it, but I do have a small decant that I wear once in a while. It's very potent, very strong scent. That's why I didn't need the full bottle, because I wear it so rarely, and the decant that I have is more than enough. Nothing else has really ever worked for me, honestly. I have tried so many times because I feel like, you know, as a fragrance enthusiast, as a fragrance collector, I've gotta have something from Frederic Malle. I've gotta like this house, like it's a must, but the truth is obviously that's not the case, and I just don't. I will continue. This is a house that I'm not giving up on. I will continue to test their fragrances, and maybe at some point I will click, they will click with me, but for now that hasn't happened. And so yeah, I don't have anything from this house. Next one, that's the house of BYREDO. Again, a house that I have tested many times, and this one I sort of don't get the hype about. I really don't. One, I find the performance is not great. On most of their scents, performance is not great. I really dislike their bottles. I just do. And the scents are nothing to write home about. They're not terrible, but they're just nothing that excites me about them. Nothing that makes me want to wear them. Nothing that really makes me want to explore them more and more. I'm just really like underwhelmed by this house. Just underwhelmed, you know? Again, there are some scents that I like more than others, but in general, it's not for me. Next house is kind of very similar to me, actually, and that is the house of Diptyque. And here the story is the same but slightly different, because BYREDO I have explored a lot. Again, I go to their stand often and I try their fragrances. Diptyque, I don't even want to explore. I don't know why. There is something that just doesn't attract me to this house. I tried a couple. I was just as unimpressed as I am with BYREDO. In fact, to me, I find something similar in these two houses. I find some similarities. I don't know why, but I get a similar vibe from both of them. And I'm just not interested. I'm underwhelmed. I'm bored. I'm not attracted to this house. I don't know. It's like there is something pushing me away from Diptyque, and I have tried very few from the house. I could be completely wrong about it. Maybe there are some amazing scents there. I might change my mind if one day I actually properly explore this house, maybe. But for now, I don't want to explore it at all. Next two niche houses, I'm actually going to combine together because I don't get along with them for the same reason. The two houses that I'm talking about are Serge Lutens, which is like OG niche house. That's how I think about it. And a relatively new niche house, which is Maison Crivelli. Their fragrances are, for most part, strange. Both houses to me are strange. I just don't know how else to describe them. I have sampled many from both houses, many, and majority of them I find strange. There's just some kind of weird note combinations where things just don't work for my nose. They just don't. I don't know. Something sharp or something strange or something quite annoying. I don't know. I always find something wrong with their fragrances. They just don't get along with my nose at all. And so I don't get along with Serge Lutens or Maison Crivelli. I don't have anything from Maison Crivelli. From Serge Lutens, I have two fragrances, Un Bois Vanille, which I featured in a recent video saying that I've kind of fallen out of love with this fragrance. I'm keeping it for now, but not sure what's going to happen in the long run. And I have Jour de Peau, which I'm mostly keeping because it's a discontinued and hard to find scent. Although I would say that Jour de Peau is probably my favorite from the house of Serge Lutens. But in general, yeah, both of these houses I find kind of strange. Another niche house that kind of falls under the same strange category is Eldo, or Etat Libre d'Orange, something like that. Yeah, I've tried some of their fragrances, and again, they're strange. I don't like the way they smell. They just have some weird scents, like really weird, and they just don't work for me. Even I've tried recently, I can't ooh, if I remember when I'm editing, I'm going to put a name here. I can't remember the name now, but it's one of their newer scents in like darker burgundy gold kind of bottle, where the notes looked very, very promising, very interesting. And I ordered a sample of that, and I thought, ooh, I think this might be the one that I like. And when I tested it, let me tell you, it was terrible. It was so weird. It was so unpleasant. Just no, for me, this house doesn't work. It's too out there. Maybe it's too progressive. Maybe I don't know, too conservative in what I like. I don't know, but yeah, I just don't get along with that house. Okay, let's do one more niche house, and I think that'll be enough for today. This one might be a little bit controversial. I don't know how many fans are out there of this house. That is Ormond J. I've been curious about this house. I actually really wanted to have this house represented in my collection, and I have tried multiple samples from them. Definitely not everything, not even close to everything. You know, they have a lot of fragrances, but I've tried enough to form my opinion. And I find their scents quite underwhelming, like kind of boring and not exciting. They're not bad smelling, but I'm just bored by them. It's like, what can I say about those? There's nothing to say about them. Yes, they smell kind of nice, but like, there's nothing to write home about. There's nothing that stands out about those scents. Like, they're just very, very underwhelming to me. And I felt that way about pretty much every single scent from Ormond Jane that I have tried. I was just, okay, I'm underwhelmed. It's okay. It's kind of blah. Okay, next one. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. So, you know, again, forgive me, those of you who enjoy this house. I'm so happy it works for you. But for me, I just haven't been able to find anything from them that really excited me. But this house, I do want to keep exploring. I do want to try more from them. I kind of still have hope that I will find something from them that will work for me. We will see. But for now, we have not become friends. So there you go. This is my list of houses that I don't get along with. Let me know, what do you think about my list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some houses that you don't get along with? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.